Everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Today I've decided to wear Rich's shirt, and you'll find out why very shortly. But the biggest thing about tonight is I've got a wonderful guest with us today from all across the ocean in merry old England. Let's have a big Matt Likes Comics welcome for Terry, better known as Deadman Comics cover show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it right. Woohoo! So, Terry, how you been lately?
Fine, thank you. As I say, getting there like everyone. The weather over here has not been great, but I don't know what it's like in Canada. But over here, it seems to be belting down with rain for the last couple of days.
Yeah, we've had rain for a couple of days here in Ottawa, and it's getting colder. We've had the windows open for about a week or so. I really had to close them today because I was just chattering teeth. And I mean, like, for me, that's normal, but for everybody else, it's not so much. So, Terry, what's the comic stores like in England? I'm curious because you guys have the unique thing where not only do you get North American books, you have your own books. And is New Comic Day the same day in Britain as it is here?
Yeah, no, we get them exactly the same time now. Didn't used to be that way, but now, yes, we get them exactly the same time as you. I mean, in a sense, we get them earlier than you because obviously it's later over here.
Yes, but is it the same with the British issued books? Like, do the English issued books come out on the same day as well?
The British comics, I must be honest, I don't know what I think they come out on different days. I mean, I know that old cartoon type things like the Beano and the Dandy, they always used to come out on a Thursday. Right. Whether that's still the case or not, I don't know. But there's not so many of those. I mean, I think 2000 AD used to come out on a Tuesday. So they didn't have a specific day like the Americans have always had, or Canadians always had. Whereas Wednesday is New Comic Day. That's never been the case. It's always they always had different days. I remember, say, 2000 AD when it first started came out on a Tuesday, and I know Beano and Dandy used to come out Thursday. So they definitely never used to pick a particular day. I mean, I was surprised, actually. I always thought it would have been better for them to come out on a Friday anyway, because that's when the kids used to get their pocket money, and that's when they would have had the money to buy them. So,
give it at the end of the week so they don't spend it at school. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that was the case for me, and and the people and the children that I knew, when I was a kid, they always used to get if you got pocket money at all, that is. But if you got pocket money, it was usually on a Friday. And also if you would do paper rounds and things like that, then you get paid on a Saturday. So the end of it's classed as the end of the week. Sunday was the beginning of the new week, so you get paid on a Saturday. So I would have thought that would have been a better time for them to bring out things, like comics.
Now I am going to lean on this because you are the first Brit that I've had on my show. So I may ask you some questions like for example, we've got the golden, silver, copper age here. Is there are there several ages in British comics? And like, for example, like pre-decimal, post-decimal, are they considered different ages as an example?
I suppose they are, but I mean, I don't think they actually put a label on them. I've never known them to put a label on them. I mean, the comics as we know them have been coming out in this country since probably the 1890s.
I do remember I used to read Punch before it was there. It used to be in our local library. So
yeah, I mean, sort of magazines like that were probably pre that. I mean, you're probably going back to the 1700s. But as far as a magazine that's like a comic, I suppose, I mean, that would be the sort of Ali Sloper and that sort of stuff, which like predates anything of the sort of American kind of comic. There was a YouTube channel I was watching the other day when they was talking, I think it was Mutt and Jeff. And then they were around saying, it's sort of like an Ali Sloper kind of thing. But Ali Sloper came up around 70 years before then. But no, as far as I don't think they do really. I mean, they're not worth anywhere near the kind of money that Americans would. I mean, like as I said about the Beano and the Dandy. I mean, they came out in the 1930s,
Right.
but a good copy if you could find one. I mean, and they were all on newspaper. I mean, like American comic books or Canadian comic books, whatever you want to call them. There was printed in
They're
Canada.
American. They're American.
Yeah. Well, the American comic book, I mean, it's got a glossy cover, and it's always had that.
Mm-hmm.
Or a cardboard cover, or whatever the case may be. It's always had something substantial holding it together. But the inside, the inside with, might have been newspaper, but at least it was held together by a decent cover.
Mm-hmm.
But the British comics have never been like that. I mean, they are now.
Right.
You get them now like that, but that's just a recent thing. They were newspapers, and even the covers was a newspaper
Mm-hmm.
kind of paper. And so their I don't know, their condition. You try to find one in a really good condition is very difficult. But even if you did, you would only be talking like with Beano from it's best part of 80 years old or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd probably only be talking about £1,000, £1,500.
Wow.
To say for something like that. Whereas you got all your big books, your Action Ones, Detective 27s, your Amazing Fantasy 15s, and all those sort of things, when you can be talking millions.
Wow.
For big for decent copies, decent copies of those. But you'd only be talking a few £1,000 for those sort of books. I don't know about anything older than that, but I don't think the comics as such aren't revered over here. Of any kind, whether American
Really?
or
Okay,
British.
that's cool.
Not really. Not that I know of, anyway. Not that, you don't hear people talking about it realistically.
Very cool. Before we get much further, I'm going to say hi to the chat.
Okay.
Now that we've got a few people kicking in, we've got number one is Kay Munin. Hi, Kay Munin. And today we have Robbie Josephs as number two. Robbie, it's always good to see you. Not that it's not good to see everybody else, but I'm just pointing out. Second Floor Comics is here. Apparently, he says, I logged in so early that YouTube deleted me, LOL, which explains why Kay Munin responded to you before I saw any of your things. We've got Rob Saint. Hi, Rob. Good to see you again. And there's a lot of talking. And then we have Just Michael. Hi, Michael. And let's see who else we've got here. We've got Mike Dennis. Hi, Mike. And we've got Collecto6 Steven. Hi, Steven. Good to see you here. And we've got Rich from Big Nasty Comics. Good to see you. And Lyle's here. Hi, Lyle. And Tan is here. Hi, Patel slash Tan. Tan is his real name. As I said, we got to meet not too long ago. He's a really nice guy. He's a big Silver Age collector, so that is a kind of up both our alleys, really.
Yeah.
Nate's here. Hi, Nate.
Hi, Nate.
And let's see, Lau's here. Hi, Lau. First appearance of a Brit on that show, Collector's Item. Very, very true. And let's see here. We've got.
Sorry, I'm too big to slab.
That's true. Apparently, Mark reveres them. Suddenly Comics was Steppo saying, which is probably in a good case. The only British book I own, I got off of Mark over there, and it was the Ghost Rider 2, the first appearance of Son of Satan.
Oh, yeah.
Because he sold it to me for the equivalent, for £35. Plus, and he was very generous. He took care of the shipping. Because for me, anyways, that was still $80. But in Canada, for Canadian dollars, to give you an idea, it's at least triple that for an American version. So, especially in the condition that he sent it to me in.
Yeah.
So it was great. I was very, very grateful to get that book from.
Speak to Mark, on the Geeky Weekly thing that they do.
Yeah.
And so at the moment it's on Suddenly Comics YouTube channel anyway. But I will be actually meeting him for the first time at the Thought Bubble convention in
really? You haven't met before?
North of England. Cool. No, so I've spoken to him, a number of times, but I've never actually met. But we will be meeting at Thought Bubble this in November.
Very cool.
November.
It is really cool to meet people from YouTube. I've had the pleasure of meeting Lau and Alan and Tan.
Yeah.
And I've also got to meet Cliff on Comics when he came to Ottawa not too long ago.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to make the kind of trips like the Heroes Con and all the stuff that the other ones get. So I was a little jealous when I heard them all were getting to meet. So it is pretty cool.
A lot of the Pete from Triple G, a number of the people that are in the chat on his channel, sort of thing. I'll be meeting them.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever met Gray?
No, I haven't met Gray either. I was hoping to meet him actually at the London convention a few months ago, but things got in the way, so that didn't happen, unfortunately. But we'll do one day. One day we'll get to meet.
Okay, the next thing I'm going to ask you is, how did you get into comics? What was it about them that drew your interest?
My mother was always one for getting me to read early. I mean, I was reading before I went to school. Writing before I went to school, in fact. So, I mean, I was always reading, doesn't matter what kind of stuff. But, I mean, yeah, generally, with comic books and stuff, things like that. But I had paperback books. But as far as American comic books were concerned, it was just, I've told this story before, but I was being picked up at school, which was unusual. I was 7 years old, and you didn't get picked up from school back then. You made your own way home. Nowadays it's totally different. But anyway, but my mum, just for a change, was picking me up, and I can't remember what it was for. It was either get my glasses mended, because I was always breaking my national health glasses when I was at school, or it was to get a new pair of shoes or something like that. I don't know exactly, but anyway, we went down there, and she popped into the newsagent and to pay the bill, and we was in there, and she got talking to the lady and behind the counter, and I was going, are we going kind of thing. So therefore she said, oh, go get yourself a comic, keep yourself, to keep you quiet. And I picked up, I just picked up a comic off the shelf, and I didn't really discern the fact that it was American. It was just it was a comic. I picked it up and looked at it and saw it, and I read it, and I really enjoyed it. And I asked if I could have another one. And and Mum did, because she said she always loved me to read, so she did this. And I, for probably a year or two, she used to buy me the comics every week. She'd pick up, I had to go and pick 1 or 2 comics up. And it was always American then. And I virtually stopped reading the Beano and the Dandy and all the other Bees and Topper and all these other different comics, because that's mainly. Also, back in that time, they used to have war comics called Victor and Hotspur and things like that, where they had sort of war stories in them. And they still exist, the little digests, Commando and things like that, which I say is still printed today. They used to pick those up occasionally and used to read those. But the American ones I got really into, and these were Superman and then Flash and Batman and all that kind of thing. And then slowly but surely, I just had myself a little collection of them. And eventually, by the time I was about 10, I started, funnily enough, working in that newsagent that we have been in. At the tender age of 10, but they didn't seem to care too much about age back then.
Well, actually, I find that the newspaper people didn't care how young you were, as long as you could pick up the papers and collect the money.
Exactly. And so that's right. And I was marking up papers, and by 11, I was doing paper rounds or paper routes or routes, what you want to call them, and earning myself enough money to buy the comics myself. And I was making a bigger and bigger collection of them. And gradually, as I got older, I was able to buy more because I was earning more money. Now the thing is, as you may have heard before, up until the 70s and up until the early 70s, there was no comic shops. You didn't have comic shops.
Right.
You didn't have sort of like a regular thing like you do, each week new comics come out. They used to come out here sort of once a month.
Yeah.
And most of them used to come over as ballast, all wrapped up in newspaper, and they'll come over here as ballast. So each of the news agents used to get a package of books, but when you opened it up, they didn't always have the same. Well, never had the same things inside. So you might get a couple of issues of say a Brave and the Bold and a Detective Comics and an Action Comics or something like that. And inside this parcel was all the girly magazines as well,
right,
and normal magazines and all that sort of stuff. So I used to gradually go around. I get on my bike on a month. It used to be the first of the month, usually when the parcel arrived, and I get on my bike and I travel around on the first of the month. Unless it was a Sunday, it didn't happen. But and then I used to pick them up, and they got so used to me, they used to wait until I got there before they opened the parcel.
Nice.
And so go in there, and you pick up the ones you wanted, you pay for them, and then you go off to the next one, and you do the same thing with the next one. And eventually, I had a list of what I wanted, and I eventually and sometimes they weren't there; they were missing ones.
We have a question. Sorry, we have a question from Stephen. What was Terry's first U.S. comic book that he remembers?
Well, you asked me to bring some books.
Yes.
Now, this isn't the original, but this is the very first comic I ever had. As I say, my mother bought it for me, and that was that one. As I said, this isn't the original. In a sense, I'm glad it isn't, because I remember the original and the T&P stamp price, the Thorpe and Porter stamp price they used to put on the British comics,
right,
would have had 9. This would have been 9D then.
Yes.
I always remember the 9D stamp was right stamped on Lana Lang's head, so it didn't make Lana look very nice. No. I know she's so, and so in a sense, I'm glad I got this one now. I bought this a couple of years ago as kind of I don't know, thought of my mother really more than anything else. And I picked this up, but this was the very first the American comic I ever had.
Very cool. For those that don't know at the moment, Terry is at 398 subscribers. I'm hoping a couple of you out there will go check him out and give him a sub. Let's get him over 400 if we can, because that would be really well. And Nate is very happy to see that it was Lois.
Yes.
So Lois Lane, that brings me to my next question. What are your favorite books to collect? I'm sure most people who've seen your channel can probably guess, but let's hear it from you.
Well, I do like. DC was the first books I collected. I got nothing against Marvel, but they were much more difficult to get. Marvel comics in the UK, there wasn't so many places did them, because those Marvel comics were never in them parcels I spoke about. You get Charlton Comics in there, and you'd get sort of DC, and you get other comic companies. The ones that, well, none of them exist now, but you'd get those. But I never ever saw Marvel. I only knew Marvel from a friend of mine that collected Marvel, and that's how I got to read them. Because the majority, because they ended up with the Marvel UK.
Right.
The Marvel UK stopped them coming over. And so therefore that's why it was it was very sporadic I felt sorry for the Marvel collectors, because there was so many spaces. I remember a friend especially, he was a Marvel collector, and he sort of thing was forever, he'd pick up. He had Amazing Fantasy 15. He was old enough to have had those. He had two older brothers, and they bought them, things like that. But of course, there was nothing fascinating about AF 15 or Spider-Man #1 or Fantastic Four #1 back then, for the simple reason that he's a year and a half older than me, so he would have been about 8 when those sort of books come out, 7 or 8. And his brothers were 18, 19. Yes, I do. And he was about, so he had all of those. And I mean, he did sell all of his collection. I'm still not convinced he sold his Spider-Man collection, though. He's never ever given me a definitive answer that he ever did that. But I know he sold all the rest of it. But the thing was, he used to go to, when there was eventually comic conventions, he went to them to fill in those gaps of those books that never came out over here. Those are the ones that weren't priced 9p or a shilling or whatever it was at the time. Because they're the Marvel. When the Marvel came over here, they did price. You've seen. Well, you've got one. They priced them at 9p and 10p and all that.
Exactly, I remember that.
There's very few DCs that price like that. There's very few pence price DC comics. Marvel, there's thousands of them, but DC there was very few.
They do it now. Not now, but they did in the 80s.
Yes, but they priced, but all three. They had all three prices, didn't they? The US price, the Canadian price, and the British price.
So we have another question for you. What was the first British comic you collected?
As far as a collection was concerned, I suppose really. I mean, I used to read all the kid. Well, I was a kid. The kids' comics then, like I said, Be No Dandy, Topper, Beezer, those sort of things. I used to collect Victor and Hotspur. They were more war comics. But the one that I probably collected properly was 2000 AD. I mean, I was 20 odd when those. I think
that's the Judge. That's the company that did Judge Dredd, right? Yeah. I love Judge Dredd. He's awesome.
That's probably the one. I think I collected up to issue about. I mean, that's on issue. I don't know, about 1300 now, or something like that. I think I collected it up to issue about 500 or 600. But that's about the only one. I would say that I really collected, because majority of the other magazines, all they were reprints of the American comics. I mean,
that made sense. That's what that guy. I can't remember his name, but Mark interviewed him. Oh,
Alan Klass.
Yeah, Alan Klass. He was putting those out, right?
Those ones that Mark talks about. I did buy them occasionally. When I had a few bob left over, and I'd already bought the other ones. I mean, actually, that question, I've actually totally truthfully, because there were there were 5 comics. They called them Fantastic, Terrific, Pal, Wham, and Smash. Fantastic and Terrific was completely Marvel reprints. I think Fantastic lasted about 97 issues. Terrific lasted about 46 issues, and then was combined into Fantastic. Wham, Pow, and Smash did do reprints of Marvel comics, but it wasn't totally that. There was also in those were the comedy kind of things, like the Beano and Dandy type stories, like one page, like in the older 50s and 60s comics, you used those little strips, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, those sort of strips were in those comics.
Super Turtle, that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, you used to have that kind of, and also you had other characters like
Dennis the Menace, in our newspapers,
They had a Dennis. I mean, the British had a Dennis the Menace. There was a Biffo the Bear and all that sort of thing. There was, little stories, the Bash Street Kids and school kids and things like that. Those were in those were in the Beano and Dandy. But the stories that were in those other ones were very similar to it. They just ripped them off, kind of thing. They called them a different name, but they were basically the same thing. They were inside those other 3, and I believe Smash was the very last one. I think they all combined into it. And by the time it came to an end, there weren't any Marvel reprints anymore in those. But there, of course, there was other Marvel reprint comics that came out. Was it Dave at 35 cents? It was on that. I mean, he shows all of those sort of books.
Yes.
He picks up all those.
I'm a member of his channel. He's got a lot of great stuff that is not from America or even Australia. We got another question here. Terry, what is your favorite age to collect? Thank you. That's from Robbie.
I like new stuff. Someone asked earlier if I collected indie. Yes, I do. I mean, I like a lot of the Image books at the moment. I mean, the Ghost Machine stuff I like. I buy all that. I like all the little separate mini series that bring out for different things. I mean, things like Beneath the Trees. You know, when nobody sees that, and there's a number of others. I mean, I'm reading one at the moment as good as Dead. I mean, that's just, I think it's on issue 2 now. I mean, I'm enjoying that. But as far as I am getting back to collecting, going back to the sort of 70s and 60s.
So bronze, silver, that's pretty cool.
Yes, I mean, as I showed you and sent to you and to Nate, to such that you did your little did your video about Dazzler.
Yes,
and it got me thinking, because I sold all my collection, my very first collection. I sold back in 1984. Dazzler I would have been on issue about 20 odd. And then I sold all my collection, so I never continued on there. I think it was to issue 21. I'm sure it was the real person cover, you know, real photo cover. That was about the last one I got. And then I got a bargain on eBay. I was watching your video, and I was trolling through eBay, and somebody happened to have 1 to 42, and I got it for 80. Very cool. And I got them from 80 quid. So, I mean, I think I've done bad, because, I mean, on eBay, I mean, they're charging, or some people are trying to get more than that for number 1. So they get all 42 of them. Exactly. And they look in decent condition. I'm buying them from somebody I bought books from before. So, I mean, I know he's kosher. So I should get, you know, they should be decent. So, you know, I've done that. I did it with The Thing. I've rebought all of those. I've done that to say as far as Marvel was concerned. At the moment,
I can tell you that Robbie really likes The Thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm collecting Daredevil. I'm recollecting Daredevil, because Daredevil's about the only there's about 3 or 4 Marvel collections I collected back. You know, my first collection, the first ones I bought when it was easier to get the Marvel books, and I collected those. And now I'm recollecting Daredevil. I need about 40, I think it is 42 to complete.
Very cool. Yeah, you seem to have a lot of great runs that even in books that I'm still missing 1 or 2.
I am a sort of run collector. I mean, I've got every Superman I've got from 1957 to the present day.
I'm still missing a couple of those, but that is cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to make you big, and we'll have you show books. By the way, you're at 401. We got you there.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. That is brilliant. Thank you.
Second floor wants to know, just before we get going, second floor wants to know if the tariff nonsense is making it harder for you to get current books.
Not get current books, no. But I don't know what it is, but I know this sounds silly. I get my comics. I mean, I live down in the south of England, very much into the south of England, but I get my comics from a comic shop in Scotland, which is about, I don't know, probably between 400 and 500 miles away. The main reason I do this, I can do a subs list with this particular company, and when the books are released on the Wednesday, they put them into my list, and then I can buy them. I can buy them weekly, I can buy them fortnightly, I can buy them monthly, whatever I want to do. Majority of the other companies that you order, I'm talking about the British companies you order on eBay, for some unknown reason, well, I know the reason, but it's still a pain. If you put all your subs in, and there happens to be one book that doesn't come out that week, then you don't get any of the others. And you've got to wait until that one turns up. But that one might not turn up for a month or 2 months.
Wow.
So you're still waiting for your deliveries. But with Peebles, who I get my books from, if a book doesn't turn up, well, it doesn't turn up. They don't put that in your box. They only put the books that have come out in your box, and then you can buy them. But as far as them getting them, the prices haven't gone up. Not as far as the tariff business is concerned, not at the moment. another strange thing that's happening just recently, and I don't know why. A couple of things I recently ordered from America off of eBay, and it was cheaper for me to buy them from America than it was to buy them from England. Don't ask me why. The price of postage was really small, which I didn't understand, but I wasn't going to argue with. Because in general, it's around about between $25 and $30, usually the postage, just for one comic. But these particular ones, it was only like about $5 or $6. And as I said, don't ask me why. And as I said, I wasn't going to argue with it.
The guy may be, taking a little loss leader, hoping he'll come back.
Yeah, it's a possibility. But the last couple of books that I've got, one of them I received today, and that basically it took 2 weeks to get here on a real cheap postage. Well, it arrived today. And the other one is supposed to be coming to me. I should get it on, I believe it's on Friday. So, but I couldn't understand that. But in general, it's usually cheaper to order from here. But when you're talking about older books, when I start going back into 1956, 55, and so on and so forth, you can't get them in this country very often. And even if you could, they're in crap condition. And they didn't start coming over to this country until 1959. So anything before then is crazy. But as far as books, as far as the sort of price is concerned, I haven't been yet, cross fingers, have yet to be, the prices have gone up to us. I mean, I still get a discount on, on the books I get from Peebles. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I don't think I pay any more for a book, possibly a little bit less than what you do. I don't know that for sure. But I mean, again, it all depends on the pound and the dollar exchange rate.
Yeah, I know. Our dollar has severely tanked since the tariffs came in. Well, as a result, I can't buy from the United States right now.
No, I mean, that is why possibly the postage is so cheap at the moment. I mean, I ordered 12. Actually, and if Nat's still in, Nate, if Nate's still in the chat, I think I didn't send it. I'm not sure whether I sent it to him or not, but he had a little thing with Camelot 3000, and it was a collection I did have originally. Not yet. Well, I do. Actually, I'll show you a book I got today, and that actually is Golden Age, and it's probably the first 2 or 3 Golden Age books I've got. But no, he showed the Camelot 3000 on one of his shorts, and I looked at that on eBay, and it was £35, so what, around about $45-50 cheaper to buy it over there than it was to buy it here. So I thought, well, that's ridiculous, absolutely crazy. Again, and that's a possibility. This is because of the pound. The dollar and all the rest of it is a possibility. Anyway, let's show you some books. First of all,
I think it's time. I'm very curious to what you've brought tonight.
Well, I start off with the old one, the ones that, as I got my collection, as I said, I've got Superman from 1957 to the present day. I have actually got some before this one now, but this is the one that I got there. That's Superman 110. That's January 1957.
That's very nice. See, that is earlier than I've got. The earliest book I have for action is number 69, thanks to Mr. Josephs. But after that, my next one is 251. So,
Superman 69, did you say?
No, Action 69.
Oh, actually, yes.
My earliest issue of Superman My earliest issue of Superman itself is 99.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, up until today, my earliest was 100. I have got to say, I need 4 more to complete my 100 to the present day.
Oh, very cool.
But then my next, that is Action Comics 224. That's a January 1957. So as I said, I had every issue of Action from this one to the present. And a friend of mine who sent me, actually, the person who sent me that 110, he sent me this. as well. There's 144 different magazines that came out with January 1957 cover dates.
I believe so.
That's everything. That's not just comics. I mean, that's all.
Is that your birthmark? Is that what you're going for?
That's what I did with those two. There's no way in the world I could do it with that Adventure Comics now. I mean, you've got a fantastic collection of Adventure Comics. I've got about I've got about half a dozen. But that is January 57. You just sent me that one because it was my birthday one again. You sent it on my birthday. But it's a real good fun story as well. That is. I don't know whether you've read it, but it's a very.
I haven't read that one. That one's new to me. What issue number is that again?
Number 232. That's 232.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. The earliest adventure I own is 247. So
yeah, but it's just sad. But there's no way. If I had been collecting the Action and the Superman, if I'd been collecting Adventure at the same time as them, then maybe I would have evened them up. But I never did. So, and then we have one of my favourite covers of Action Comics. This is just 295. This is just a. By the way,
that one I don't have, but I've seen it many times. I've got the ones around it, but I don't have that one.
Yeah, as I say, I just love that cover. I think it's one of the best Kryptonite covers.
Actually, I saw that at the last show. That's right. I saw it at the last show I went to, and it was in great shape, but he wanted $120, and I thought that was a little high.
Yeah, I think so. Now, just going, as I said, I was talking about going to that thought bubble in Harrogate, which is in northern England. It's a week. They have it's a week convention for everything geeky, etc. And they have the comic book part on Saturday and Sunday. And one of the people that I'm going up there to see, who's going to be signing some books for me and also be giving some art that he's done for me already, is a guy called Ian Richardson. Mm-hmm. And I have shown this before on other shows, or obviously on my own channel as well. But this one, he did for me. Now, I showed him this one. This is one of my favourite.
Yes,
comics.
This is a great book. You know what? That is one of the best detective comics from that era period.
Yeah. As we say, it's a lovely story, and the cover is beautiful. I've always liked that cover, but I've always wanted, when it got the idea of people having sketch covers and people having artists do sketches for them, then I had the idea of a Superman version of that. Now, again, it's one I've shown before, but
it's still pretty.
Yeah, and just saying that is the version he's done. He is also now, because when I was on Gary's 911 show, 1011 show a little while ago, along with Joe from Anachronic Comics, they turned around and said, well, why don't you get the Trinity? So I thought, yeah, okay, thanks very much. Cheers. So I asked Ian, I sent him a message on Instagram and asked him if he would do that for me. And so he is. And that's the one I'm going to hopefully pick up at Thought Bubble. He's doing me a Wonder Woman one in the same kind of style. But the thing is, because he's drawing both of them, he's drawn this one and he's drawing that one. And obviously the Wonder Woman one's going to be a double spread. Because otherwise it look a bit silly. Trying to put things into her hair and stuff like that and only doing it on just one page. I've asked him if he would do, and I doubt if he's got this one done yet now, but I asked him if he would do his version of this one.
Very cool.
So that I can have all three of them then together, and then I'll get them framed. That's the plan.
That would be a very cool collectible. The collection to have.
That's what I'm planning on doing. Now, a couple of other things he did for me. My favourite character, my favourite Batman villain is the ventriloquist, along with his dummy. And there's the male ventriloquist. That's the one he did for me.
I always loved the fact that Scarface, he pronounces his B's as G's.
Yeah.
It shows you how bad of a ventriloquist he actually is.
And that's the female.
Oh, that's cool. And that's the second ventriloquist, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
yes. Okay.
Okay. And this is another bit of his art. This is one of the ones I'll be taking for him to sign for me. This is probably about this is a Zenoscope cover. It's about the raunchiest cover that Ian's ever done, so he tells me. So.
Very nice. I know a couple people that might enjoy that book very much. I'm talking about you, K. Munin.
I mean, want to carry on showing a few?
Certainly.
It's just a mixture of covers I like and characters I like, to be honest. Elvira, that's the number 11. He's doing, actually, Ian Richardson is going to be doing the art. He's doing something with Elvira for me, as far as another commission is concerned. And that's the number 1 of it. It was a Brian Bolland cover.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Brian Bolland is probably my favorite English artist.
Yeah.
In terms of ones that come from England.
There was a little Wonder Woman special they did. There was 3 of them. Wonder Woman 77 special. And that's my favorite one of those 3.
Very nice.
And this is one of my favorite Wonder Woman stories by Trina Robbins. It's got a nice cover as well. As I say, it's a lovely story.
That is a great cover.
Yeah. It's a lovely story. You should, if you can pick one up, you should do. It's not.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before. I don't think. Is that a one shot or is that one of the?
Yeah, it's one shot.
Okay,
yeah,
that's why. I'm one of those. I tend to the regular series so much that I forget about the one shots.
There's just a few little Wonder Woman ones. Again, I have got the full run of Wonder Woman Volume 2. I can't afford the full volume of Wonder Woman Volume 1.
Oh.
But that's one of the most popular covers.
That is great. The second run of Wonder Woman is fantastic. I'm working on the run as well. I've got about a quarter of it right now, but
yeah, I mean, we got the Bolland covers, you got the Hughes covers, and you've got the Byrne covers, and they're all, I mean, the Hughes covers are probably the dearest of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I was lucky. I was actually able to buy I bought the full run in one hit. So therefore, I can't remember exactly how much it cost me, but it wasn't a lot of money. And when I see the price, I mean, I didn't even realize this one was expensive. When you buy them all in one go.
Yeah. The Joker cover by Brian Bolland in that Wonder Woman series is the reason why I like him so much. It wasn't just the I liked him a lot for like the Joker, the Killing Joke or whatever. Yeah. But I really got into Brian Bolland with those Wonder Woman books.
Yeah. Mm. And then we have to say they're just a few. I just picked a few out of random. This is another Adam Hughes one. I quite like this one with she's chatting away to Lois.
I have that one. That's a fun, interesting book. Yeah. Lois always being admitting she's a little jealous of Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman saying she's jealous because Lois has something she wants, and that's a good relationship.
There's one. That's John Byrne one.
Yes.
The Sacred Files. And then we have a lovely. This was the last George Perez one, as far as I know that he did. Because I mean, he did a run of them, as you know, of Wonder Woman.
I think he did the first
1 to 50, isn't it? I think it was.
Yeah, I think he did for 1 to 50 on the covers.
Yeah,
he did the interiors for like 1 to 30 because he got too much, but he wrote until like about 60, and then he said, "You know what? I'm done."
But he did this one. So this is 120. It's a lovely cover. So those floating heads everybody speaks about.
Yeah,
and this is one of the Bolland one, probably one of my more favourite of the Bolland ones. I just like Wonder Woman's face on this one, and then the Flash there in the middle of his spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then they're looking at. She's been having a gun pointed at the sights pointed out. You thought the Flash wouldn't be there now; would be rushing around to stop it all. But
you have to admit she's pretty fast if she's going to stop that bullet.
That's it. That's it.
I love that in the movie Wonder. So I guess it was in the Justice League movie where she took out the bank guys.
Yeah,
and just doing it all with the bullets. It was pretty awesome.
Now I've got these ones. So I've just picked out a few because I've called myself, obviously the Deadman comic cover show mainly because one of my favourite characters is Deadman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ian, by the way, did the art here for me. I bought me mug. I got those made, and he did the t-shirt.
Do you have a store for this sort of stuff?
No, I haven't. Not at the moment. I haven't got enough people, enough monetary or whatever it is. And I hadn't even thought of it like that anyway. To be honest, I just did it because I love this.
I know. I want to get. Now that I've got a decent my logo was okay before, but now that I've got an interesting logo and I'm in a position to do so, I'm thinking in the new year that I'm going to get some T-shirts made and whatever, just to give away to people, because people have been very generous with that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I just love this, what he did for me, and as I say, so I thought I'd like to show it off. I mean, the first lot of T-shirts I got, I didn't like because they had the white frame around them. And this was a mistake that the printers made. I mean, I actually ended up with them T-shirts for nothing. These ones I've had done by Vista Print, and they've actually made them properly, which without the white rectangle around them.
Thank you, Lau. And by the way, thank you earlier, Patel. I was going to get to there when. Thank you guys for the super chats. Lau's asking if European books, of the Fumetto and bande dessinée version, are they popular in the United Kingdom?
I must be honest, I've never heard of them, to be honest with you.
You've got your French and German versions of books, and Belgian versions and Italian versions, etc. Like, I think that's what he's looking for. He's looking more of the original types, like a Tintin or an Asterix or.
I must be honest, I can't say I've ever seen them for sale. In any stores. I mean, I have got local comic shops. I just, because of the way that I'm treated with the place I go to, sort of thing, I've never bothered changing. I will say I've got local. I mean, the nearest one to me is about 15 miles away. But I've never seen. I mean, I go in there occasionally, but I've never seen anything, foreign, if you like. There, the American comic books in English, and that's it. They don't have the foreign versions of them. I can't say I've ever seen them. I'm not saying they're not there, but I can't say I've ever seen them.
Right.
Because of the Deadman, I just picked out a few covers with Deadman on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So ones I like there. There's a Neil Adams one.
Oh, Neil Adams is great. I know he was an older gentleman, but damn, we lost a good one there.
I think this is Lou, is it Bermejo? Or Frillo, I can't think of his name now. But I like this one.
Very cool. Oh, hi, Dope. Welcome to the show.
And this was a Green Lantern. This is a Green Lantern comic. There's a variant. One of the. It was the Blackest Night era, I think, was the story era.
I had a collection. It was in a digest of some sort, I think, of a lot of the strange adventures. They had collected a lot of the Strange Adventures, Deadman together, and that's how I got into the character. I wish that I could remember exactly what it was, because I would like to get it again. I like to get everything I could.
Yeah.
Good book. I have that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the same. And then I showed these on my channel, and I know you said you didn't know. Even Greyman didn't know about this Deadman.
Yes.
I think it's fantastic, this cover.
Yeah, I never knew there was a second
one. It's a very morbid cover. I believe this is the cover they used to advertise the series, even though it's issue 3. But I believe this is the issue they did. And of course,
that's possible.
And that was the other one. Now I'm doing something, or trying to do something, I should say, special for the Halloween video that I will put out on the 31st. I was actually going to be on Joe's, Anachronic Joe from Anachronic Comics. I was going to be on one of his shows on the 31st. Well, to me, it would have been the 1st of November, but it still was the 31st over there. But unfortunately, he's had to cancel because he's been invited to a party, so they've cancelled it. So it won't be until the following week.
What? Social life? Nerd? I'm impressed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Got invited to a 31st Halloween party. Who'd have thought on Halloween? Get invited
well, it is a Friday Halloween this year, so.
But I have been, because one of the things that a number of people have said to me, and one in particular, but I won't tell you who that is, why I call myself the Deadman comic cover show, and yet I don't show any Deadman comics, or at least I don't show the ones from his origins, as in the Strange Adventure ones. But I have started to buy them, and this one arrived the other day. This actually came from what's it doing? The Mint Hunter Comics, but it's the only one I've got that's coming that's actually in a frame, and I'm thinking about taking it out, but because
that's a good one. I remember that when I read that story. Oh wow!
But this was another one of those ones which was ludicrously cheap, and the postage wasn't much either. And as I say, it's,
you got that off of James. That is impressive.
Yeah, well, James and Mint Hunter Comics. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yes.
As I said, it wasn't expensive, and the postage wasn't expensive either. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, this didn't cost me much more than it probably would do if you actually.
I'll tell you this much though: the postage from the eastern part of the continent probably is a lot less. Lyle was commenting on how much it costs him to send to England, but he's on the west coast of North America, so you've got that added to the ocean shot.
Yeah, no, I don't understand. Sorry, some of the prices. I said that one cost me. I would think if you bought it raw and sent it off to get it framed or get it, whatever they do with it and all the rest of it, and then get it framed up and then sent back. I would have thought it would have probably cost more than what that actually cost me. I was quite happy with that. But I'm trying to do something special for my Halloween video. But there's a couple of things in the way of that happening at the moment. I'm hoping it'll happen. What's getting in the way will.
Do the children in Britain have? Did the children in Britain have the fancy dress trick or treat?
I think they do. They do it in the bigger towns. I think it doesn't happen around here. Around my way, I live in a sort of like a little sleepy village, really, in comparison. Well, it is a village. I think they do it in the towns. I mean, you see it happening in the parks and things like that. You see them walking around, but it's certainly not like it is predominant. I don't know what it's like in Canada, but you see it, the way it's advertised in America. It's nothing like that at all. It's getting there because the amount of stuff that's in the shops.
Right.
Halloween stuff that's in the shops, crazy, and it's in the shops like 2.5 months before Halloween.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. We're already seeing the Christmas stuff starting, and it hasn't even Halloween yet.
Christmas stuff was put on the shelves at the same time as the Halloween stuff here. Yeah. Just crazy. I mean, you barely get with here, but you barely get past the 25th of December before Easter eggs are on the shelves.
Oh, really? We at least don't get those till February.
No.
We get Valentine's Day right off the bat, though.
I mean, I don't know whether they have them over there, but they have over here called Cadbury's Cream Egg.
Yes, we have them at Easter only.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Cadbury's Cream Eggs, they go on sale from the 1st of January.
Does Cadbury still make their chocolate in England, or did they move it out?
As far as I know, it's still made at Bourneville.
Because in Canada, there's no Cadbury factory. All our Cadbury is imported, so...
No, as far as I know, they're still in Bourneville. I did actually visit the Cadbury's factory many years ago. So it's fascinating, so you can see watching it being made.
Yeah, I really like Cadbury chocolate. It's great. It's some of the best.
It's made with milk, isn't it? Whereas most of the American, I don't know about Canadian, but the American chocolate is mostly made with vegetable oil, isn't it? So there isn't really much in their chocolate.
Yeah, well, some are made with milk, some are made with cocoa oil.
Yeah.
As much. I've never had an American chocolate bar. I've never had one. Like the times I've been to the States, I haven't had one. But I would imagine they're similar in quality to the Canadian versions because Hershey's, for example, moved to Mexico anyway. So although now I hear they're moving back because of the tariffs to actual Hershey, Pennsylvania. But anyway.
Do you want me to show some more?
Yeah, let's do a couple more because we're getting up to an hour, and I don't want. I usually stop by now, but this has been so interesting. I've kept going.
Well, I just picked out a few little sort of mini series and books and everything else that I like. So just show these are Superman versus
Stephen, just a quick point. Hershey's Canadian manufacturing used to be in a small town called Smiths Falls, which was a half an hour drive from where I am. Mm-hmm. So I've had many Hershey products. The problem is now our Hershey products are imported from Mexico. They don't make them in Canada anymore. So,
right, I'm just going to say these. Superman versus the Terminator. I don't know whether you've seen this little mini-series. But,
oh, nice.
I know you like Superman.
This is why you need to come to all our shows. You never know what we're going to talk about.
Is Supergirl your favorite? Yeah, Supergirl.
Supergirl is my favorite. That's a great, great cover.
And you've got all of them on this one.
Very nice. I'm hoping next week to have some time to watch some episodes of Buffy for my annual Halloween watch.
One of my favorite female characters in the comics is Catwoman, and I just picked out a few of my favorite covers. Well, they're all my favorite covers, but as I say, I just want to try.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Jim Ballant cover. And another Jim Ballant cover.
Nice. That series is severely underrated.
Yeah. Glad it was when I was buying it. So some poison ivy there.
Nice. I like how the purple clicks against the light green on that one. Nice.
Then we go to Adam Hughes.
Now those are my favorites. I don't know what it is about that cover I like so much, though.
No, there's a couple of things probably. Is it? It's a nice one. In the shadow there. So the meaty one.
Who's in the reflection of the glasses there?
I think it's what's his name? The skeleton head. What's his name? I can't think of his name.
Oh, Mr. Bones.
That's it. Yeah.
Or Black Mask, because I think Black
No,
Mask.
sorry, no, that's right. No, not Black Mr. Bones. Black Mask. Yeah. Black Mask. Yeah, I believe that's it. This is it's Catwoman, but it's Satana, another one of my favorite female characters.
That one I have. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then she was in this one as well. And then back to Adam Hughes again.
There they are. I mean, there she is. Nice.
Probably my favorite one. One of my favorites. My favorites to be honest.
Oh, well, that's a different angle completely.
Yeah, that's right. But it's a nice angle. And then you got this. Another Adam Hughes. That was, they did, you remember they gave a lot of the covers, even though the comics had finished.
Yeah.
They gave them a lot of cover. They gave them another number. So this title finished at 82, but then they gave it an 83 for The Blackest Night.
Yeah.
A couple of.
Beautiful.
There's one there. And this is a nice one. They're in color in their old costume.
That costume's a lot of fun. It's certainly better than the one from the early 70s with the light blue. Yeah. That was terrible.
There it is. There's a few of those.
Terry, thank you very much for the books and everything that you've shown tonight. I appreciate your knowledge of books. When I watch, if you guys haven't watched Terry is one of those guys. He's got an amazing knowledge. When he's holding up his books, he does similar to me. He'll go, "This is the book. I know this artist, this da, this da, and he gives out some good facts and stuff. And it's one of the reasons why I like watching him so much in the first place.
Thank you.
You were recommended to me by Graham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Gray Man. Like, not personally. I mean, like, he was on it. He mentioned you on a video, and so I checked. So I checked you out as a result, and I've been watching you ever since.
Thank you.
And if you're not subbed up, hi Brian. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there, Lyle. We'll go check right now. Lyle wants to know where you're at. We had you at 401, so let's see real quick. Deadman comic. You are at 403.
Thank you very much. And that was my latest video. I've done some Star Trek paperbacks because I was asked to do it, and the first two went really, really well. But it's been a bit slow so far. So if you would like to,
I watched it this morning. I had it on. I had that on when I was doing working. I do a lot of that where I put it on as background and stuff, and then I'll take a second and make a comment if there's something in the video that I've that
people have watched it for a long time, which is nice.
Yeah,
but not somebody have watched it. But there you go, as I say.
But speaking of subscribers and stuff, I just want to point out tonight for those that are members of the channel, and if you want to be a member of the channel, one of the perks that you get for if you're a member of my channel is you get to tell me ideas of videos you want to see on there. Well, I have taped one that was suggested by Chonko, and I have 3 here that I've gotten off the video I posted on my members board asking for ideas that I am going to record because you guys have asked for them. They're all pretty reasonably easy to do for what I have right now, so I'm going to put those together. That was John Harrison, Comic Mike, and Robbie who have asked for videos. I have done one for TM and I've done one for Chonko. So if you want to tell me what to do, just grab yourself a membership, and they're only $3 Canadian a month. So if you want to do it,
or £3 English pounds.
No, not quite.
Yes, they are. No. Yes, they are.
£3 English pounds for $3 Canadian dollars.
If I joined, it cost me $2.99.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't differentiate, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I did it at $2.99 Canadian on purpose.
Yeah.
Because it worked out to $2 at the time. It worked out to $2 American, and that's,
no, I mean it's the same with everyone. I'm sub with. There's one of them that costs $5.49. It costs $5.99, but it costs $5.99 in sterling on this side of the water. So as I say, they don't differentiate. If it says $5.99, it's $5.99 in sterling, or $3.99 or $2.99, whatever it is. It's the same like with Brian. Remember with him for $1.99, but it's $1.99, but it's £1.99 on this side. I mean, it's not. I mean, at the moment, it probably makes a bit of a difference, but I mean, there's not usually a lot of difference anyway. You're talking about 40 or 50 pence.
And I want to tell people too, while I have them on here, that I'm up to 708 as of the beginning of this video, which means we've only got 92 to go for the giveaway. And I'm hoping that we can get there before Christmas so that by New Year's I can send out things. I will be recording a video soon showing the prizes that are going to be on the giveaway. And that, of course, when it happens, when it's time, I will put it on live, and that'll be the video people will comment on to win, like we always do. It has been a great year. It's getting close to the end of the year. It's been a great year for everybody here at the channel, and it's been a great year for everybody in the chat and who's watching, I hope. Terry, I really appreciate you taking the time to come with me and join me today here.
That's great, thank you. May I ask what 800? I know that usually when you did your giveaways, they always had the number was meant something.
800 is not special this time.
No.
I was going to go 1,000, but I was going so slow between 6 606.25 that I decided I would go 800 because I thought, well, I don't want to go too long between giveaways.
No.
Like I was doing reasonably every couple months with the old system I was doing. And so, like it could take me a long time to get to 1,000. So I thought if I waited that long, I might not get around to things quick enough. And I don't know why, but I like to give away stuff. It's just who I am.
Well, I mean, to be honest to say, I mean, obviously, it's entirely up to you. But I'm quite happy to come back in a sort of few months' time. Or
of course,
and
Terry, I will be glad to have you.
Because I mean, I barely asked any questions really, so I'd like to answer some more.
Well, I mean, I've got. I'm pretty much booked for the year, so like till the end of the year. So I will be looking for 2026 very soon. So we'll talk.
Yeah.
And for those, one last moment, next week's guest is Mike from Lunch Money's Comics. He's going to be here for my questions and show us some books. Thursday night coming, I'm going to be on Big Nasty's Geek Channel show, which is why I wore the Big Nasty shirt tonight, so that I could promote that a little bit. I don't know if he wants me to reveal the topic or not, so I'll keep that to myself right now. But check us out on Big Nasty's channel on Thursday at I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern. I will not be on Alan's channel this week. We have a family birthday Friday night, so I will. And then I'm also leaving on a weekend trip the morning after. So I won't be on Alan's show this week, and there's no Superman show this week. So the next time I'll be doing live, as I said, here on my channel will be next Tuesday, and Comic Mike will be here. Thank you, everybody. Lunch Money Mike will be here. Comic Mike will be here in 3 weeks. He's actually coming here November 18th. So thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you to Lau and to Patel for the super chats, and thank you to everybody who was here tonight. I appreciate you all. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.